So, hello guys. I am here to let you guys know that I will be starting a new series from East Coast to West Coast. It will be featuring my van journeys solo, leaving my husband and family behind. And originally, we started out with a trip that I was supposed to be taking for my birthday, but a lot of things has transpired since then, and I was unable to do that trip. I had a set budget with the amount of money that I was going to be able to travel on, but the budget has been depleted. So we're gonna be taking this trip by faith, because I had to do a lot of repairs and a lot of stuff has been going on. So I'm not going to let that stop me. So we're going to be doing a road trip from the East Coast to the West Coast on a budget, and we're going to ride until we run out of cash. So I want you guys to follow along with me on this journey. I will be sleeping in my minivan named Journey, and Journey identifies as a male, a he. So I want you guys just to come along and experience this with me. It will be my first time doing an extended road trip, sleeping in my van and solo. So right now I have a mess because I am married, and this is just a series. Some of you guys already know me, but some of you guys don't. But I am married. I am 44 years old, just had my birthday in July, and my dream has to always been to travel the 50 states. This was before I married my current husband, so we got married. But before we got married, we did discuss that what I wanted to do. So it has been hard on me to leave my husband, but this is something I have to do for myself because I don't want to live in regrets. So I will be starting that. I did get a job that I should be starting in September sometime. So that's good. This gives me almost a whole month to do what I need to do to get back to work and do small trips in between. So in the sink we have meat. On this side, we have meat, and behind me we have meat. So my goal is to be gone for maybe 2 to 3 weeks, unsure of the amount of time, unsure of where we're going. But I'm on the East Coast now, and my plan is to make my way to the West Coast. So what I'm doing today, and I'll be leaving in the morning, and it's already 2:40 p.m. But my goal today is to cook most of this meat for my husband and my son to be able to eat, and I'm going to freeze it. As far as sides, I got instant and quick items that they can make. Like, let me come back. These vegetables that they can either cook just straight in the microwave in the bag, or they can, put them in the pan. So I got different vegetables, frozen vegetables, and sides like boxed mac and cheese, boxed mashed potatoes. We have tons of rice that they can just throw in the rice cooker. So I'm going to prepare the meats, which take the most time, so that when my husband comes from work, then he can just thaw it out. He can either throw it in the air fryer, the microwave, oven, however he wants to warm it up. So I figure like that with the sides should only take them about 10 minutes, but the meat will be done. So I want you guys to come along with me. I have a few ideas that you guys gave me on what to prepare, and I will be preparing those. So let's get started cooking. Well, actually, let's put some of this stuff up first. Okay, so I went to the meat market and I got these bags of meat. And in these bags we have 3 pounds of, or 5 pounds of pork chops, 5 pounds of ground beef, a slab of ribs, some chicken drumlets, some chicken breasts, some chicken thighs, And that may be it. Different, some different meat for $59. Here. So we're gonna be using most of this stuff, so I'm just gonna put it on the counter over here. So we're gonna do marry me chicken pasta or something like that. That was a recipe someone submitted. We're gonna do a slab of ribs. We're gonna do fried pork chops, air fried chicken drumlets, and beefy turkey, no, not beefy, turkey and noodles, and chicken. What were we gonna do with the chicken? I don't remember what else, but we're getting ready to cook. Everything that I cook, I have to use red bell pepper because they did not have green bell pepper, and this is what they sent me. And I may do these lima beans for him because I'm not sure if he knows how to make them, but he did request lima beans. First thing, well, second thing, we already put everything up. Now we are going to wash the meat. So we'll just start with I have ground turkey. So I'm going to make ground turkey. I usually call it beefy pasta, but we're using turkey, so turkey pasta. But it's going to have a brown gravy for this. Since we have that, we'll go ahead and brown the turkey. Excuse that. Since this was the easiest thing and it was already right here, we'll just go ahead and do that first. So while this is browning, we'll add our seasonings. And I'm going to use a beefy onion soup mix. Put a little bit because then I'll add some more to the noodles. And now we can preheat the oven. I'm going to put it on 350, and that's going to be for the ribs. Okay, we're going to season up the rib. Got some rib rub. We want to mix this up or stir the ground turkey. Cover it with foil. And I'm going to put it in the oven for 2 hours. So it's 3:02 right now. So 5 o'clock. Okay, so we got the rib in. We're browning the turkey. So next we will do season up the meatloaf. We're going to get our 2 pieces of booty bread and put them in the oven to make the breadcrumbs for the meatloaf. Well, this is a fresh bag, so I'll just get the top one. I usually use the ends, but this will do. So we will make toast. Alrighty, so we'll add half a pack of the beefy onion mix, some garlic powder, that one's not open, seasoning salt, I think, okay, Italian season, and lots of that. Then we have a ranch packet. Put the whole thing in there. Now we'll mix the meatloaf up. And you guys see me make meatloaf before. So we'll just get the seasonings all mixed up good. And it takes a little time. It does when you're not using your hands. 2 eggs. And some ketchup. We'll mix that up as well. We got the water we're going to put on for the turkey and noodles. Going to boil the water. And we need a pan for chicken and noodles. Now we have that water. So let's see if the toast is done. Give it a couple of more minutes. Okay. So next we will, the chicken and noodles, we're gonna put some chicken in here and broil it. The water is boiling for the turkey and noodle. And I put 5 chicken thighs in here and let them boil. Oh, the toast. I always forget about the toast. Which is good. So we'll crumble that and put it in the meatloaf. We'll turn that off for right now. So we'll crumble. And we're gonna mix the meatloaf up. And this is the last step pretty much before we put it in the oven. So we'll add the egg noodles to the boiling water. And that's for the turkey and noodles. And then we're going to shape the meatloaf. You just shape it using a spoon. I'm going to smooth it out. Fill in all the gaps. Make sure there are no holes. And shape it on up. Turn the noodles down because they are starting to get ready to boil over. So we're going to turn them down. I'm tripping. I forgot the onion and the bell pepper. So I'm getting ready to cut those up and put them in the meatloaf. I can't believe I forgot that. Onion and bell pepper. Okay. We got the bell pepper and onion now. God, I can't believe I did all that. Like, now I gotta remix this whole thing and shape it. But it's cool. I'm gonna go ahead and add them. We have the meatloaf shaped. Now we're gonna cover it with foil and cook it for about an hour. 45 minutes to an hour. All right, I'm gonna put it in the oven with the rib. So the noodles are probably done. And we want to add the beefy onion dip, beefy onion soup mix to the noodles. Let me see. Yes, they are done. So we add that, mix it. Turn the heat off for right now. Okay. And we're going to add the ground turkey. Mix it up. And then we have a can of beef gravy. And we season the meat, but we want to season the noodles because they do not have any flavor. Add a little seasoning to it. Some garlic. Lots of garlic. We'll add the other can of beef gravy. I'm going to let it cook on low for a little bit while cover it. The chicken thighs are boiling. We want to add some seasoning to it. So we will add seasoned salt, some garlic powder, some adobo, a couple of these chicken bouillon cubes, some pepper. I don't really use a lot of pepper. I like pepper, but my husband doesn't particularly care for pepper, so I don't use a lot of pepper in his food. So guys probably noticed that. And I'm gonna let this boil till it starts to fall off the bone. I'm gonna add onion, carrots, and celery to the boiling chicken and let it finish boiling. And for the vegetables to get soft, and it's also making a broth for the noodles. And we'll cover it. Okay, let's check on the beef. I mean, not the beef. I keep saying beef. On the turkey and noodles. Okay, looks pretty good. So we can turn that off and that is finished. He likes his drum legs in the air fryer, so we're going to put these, season them up and put them in the air fryer. Okay, here's the chicken. So I put it in the air fryer. Power. And I push the chicken button on here. And it cooks for 40 minutes. And it cooks it perfectly for those 40 minutes. Like, the chicken is perfect. So on 370 for 40 minutes in the air fryer. And that's the chicken legs or drumsticks. So next I will be preparing a recipe sent to me by Shan. Thank you so much. I'm gonna try it out and see how the husband and Cho likes it. So first we got cut up some chicken breast, and then we're gonna season it and flour it. So the chicken is has 20 minutes left, so that's the halfway mark. So we're gonna flip the chicken. Put it back in there to finish cooking. So now we have the cooking oil ready to brown this chicken breast for the Marry Me chicken pasta. Okay, so I read the recipe wrong. I was supposed to add 3 tablespoons of the sun-dried tomato oil into the pan. And once it gets hot, add the chicken to the pan. So I'm going to do that now. And then you let it brown. And they said it should take about 5 to 10 minutes per side. Okay, so you just put the 3 tablespoons of oil. You do still flour it and everything. And then you just put 3 tablespoons of the sun-dried oil in here and let it brown. So we're going to check on the meatloaf now. Okay. It's pretty tasty. I think I'm going to leave it, I'm going to uncover it and cook it a little longer before I add the sauce on top so that they can get a little browner. Meatloaf, we're going to add the sauce on top. Like I said before, you can make the sauce however you want to make it. You can make it with tomato sauce and brown sugar or barbecue sauce and ketchup, some maple syrup. There's many different ways that you can make the sauce. It's just whatever you want and whatever you have on hand, it's always going to turn out good. So it doesn't really matter what sauce you use on top of it. Then we're going to put it back in the oven for about 30 minutes. There you go. All right, the chicken stopped, so let's check on it. There's the chicken. I'm gonna take it out and put it on a plate. Okay, here is the air fried chicken. So I might put another batch in there just for extra because we did have extra chicken left over. So we're gonna saute the onions for the Marry Me chicken. Next, you want to add a little chicken broth. And heavy cream. Okay, want to add a half cup of sun-dried tomatoes. Some Italian seasoning. And also some Parmesan cheese. And that should create your sauce. Just gonna let the cheese melt. We're going to get our water ready for the pasta. So we're going to let it boil. Add angel hair pasta to the boiling water. Meatloaf out. There you go. So now we're going to add the chicken to the sauce. And cook it on the lowest setting for a few minutes. The pasta is done. I've drained it, so I'm gonna add a couple of little spoons of oil, the sun-dried tomato oil. Let's mix it up. And now we want to add the sauce to the pasta. Big mess to clean up. Stir it. There you go. So we got the chicken, the celery, carrots with the chicken broth all ready. We're gonna add a bag of egg noodles to that. Maybe a little more than a half a bag. So we'll mix that up and let the noodles cook. I'm gonna add a can of cream of chicken. And stir it. And let it cook. And we're gonna fry some pork chops. Okay, so I got my kitchen back to normal. Everything is done. I'm going to show you all the finished food, and then I am going to cut it up or portion it and put it in freezer bags and put it in the freezer. So here we go. Here's the food all prepared. I hope my husband knows I love him very, very much. So right here we have pork chops, fried pork chops, the slab of ribs, the air fried chicken, the marry me chicken pasta, the turkey and noodle, kind of like beefy noodles, the meatloaf, and the chicken and noodles. So all of that should last between 2 to 3 servings for him. So all he has to do is pop the bag of frozen veggies in the microwave, warm it up, and heat up or cook some mashed potatoes, rice in a rice cooker, boil the macaroni and cheese, whatever sides he wants. So basically the meat is prepared and ready to go. So he comes in and he's tasting all this. I told him it was not gonna last because he's already in it. Talking about leave some all of it out. No, sir.
Did you get me off with feeding? What is this red stuff?
Tomatoes, sun-dried tomatoes. So he's tasting it all, you guys.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. Shan on YouTube gave me that. I liked it too. I tasted it before I had
Before you
the
put the
meat.
meat in
I tasted the sauce.
Tell her thank you. She off your YouTube?
He said thank you. Go ahead, taste your little
You
meatloaf.
know I got to.
Without a knife, but it's his, so he can do
It's
whatever
all
he
mine.
wants.
Your meatloaf always good though, so.
All right, you got this. You don't gotta even touch. That's your rib. You want sauce on it or just keep it plain?
Trying to keep it plain.
I know that. That's why I ain't putting none on it. But it is sauce in it just in case you want to add it.
Good rib. That's a good rib.
Thank you.
Thank you, babe.
You're welcome.
Even though you leaving me. It's like a
Well, I
two-head.
wanted to make sure at least you got to eat a little something. I don't want you having to eat fast food every day like you said you was gonna do.
That and soups.
Mm-hmm.
The rib and the chicken, we can leave a couple of those out.
Yeah, I got the vegetables that you just pop in there. So they're all bagged and ready to be put in the freezer. And babe's doing the dishes. And it's 21 servings, so I'll be back in 21 days.
Mhm.
You hear that?
Enjoy.
So, yep, 21 servings for the baby. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to kick off the start of my trip in my van journey from the East Coast to the West Coast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you later, and you have a good one. Bye-bye.